Hello everyone, I am Kiran Joshi. Hope you all are safe and sound. This is the second video of class 6 civics, rural livelihoods. This chapter tells about different ways of livelihood in rural India. In the first video, we learnt about the landless laborer Thulasi and the small farmer Sekar. We learnt that Thulasi works in Ramalingam's field, who is a large farmer and owns 20 acres of paddy fields in Kalapattu. Children, besides paddy fields, Ramalingam's family also has a rice mill and a shop where seeds, fertilizers and pesticides are sold. To establish the rice mill, he used some of his own money and the remaining money he borrowed from the government bank. Now, how does he arrange paddy for the rice mill? So children, this he does by purchasing paddy from his village as well as from the nearby villages. Then this paddy is made into rice in Ramalingam's rice mill, which is then sold to traders in nearby towns. In this way, Ramalingam's family earns a large income. Children, in Kalapattu village, there are many agricultural laborers like Thulasi. Then there are also many small farmers like Sekar. However, there are only few large farmers like Ramalingam. Actually, children, throughout India, the situation is more or less same. From every 5 rural families in India, about 2 families are agricultural laborers. Most of them do not own land and are compelled to work on other people's land to make a living. They are poorly paid and sometimes they are given grains instead of money. Small farmers like Sekar possess small plots in which they grow food crops that are often insufficient even to feed the family. Almost 80% Indian farmers are small farmers and only 20% farmers in India are large farmers like Ramalingam. They own large fields in the villages. They use modern technology and employ others to work on their fields. A large part of the cultivation is sold in the market. Often these large farmers do other businesses also like shops, money lending, trading, running small factories, etc. Children, through the example of Kalapattu village, we learnt about farming, which is one of the many ways of livelihoods in rural areas. Besides farming, there are many other ways of making a living in rural areas. For example, many people collect forest produce. Some are engaged in animal husbandry, doing dairy produce, fishing, etc. If we talk about the villages in central India, so there both farming and collection from the forest are important means of living. They collect mahua, tendu leaves, honey from the forest and sell them to traders. In this way, they earn additional income. Another important source of income for some rural families is selling milk. They sell milk to the village cooperative society or take milk to the nearby towns. In our coastal areas, fishing is an important rural occupation. Let's learn more about the lives of a fishing family through the example of Aruna and Parivelan, who are a fishing family in Pudupet, a village situated close to Kalapattu. Pudupet is a fishing village where people are engaged in fishing. The houses of the people in this village are close to the sea and there are many catamarans and fishing nets also. Their life here revolves around the sea and fish. Every day at about 7 o'clock in the morning, there is a lot of crowd at the beach because the fishermen return from the sea in their catamaran with their catch, that is fish, and women also come here to purchase and sell fish. So let's learn about the fishing family of Aruna and her husband Parivelan. Children, Parivelan, Aruna's brother and Aruna's brother-in-law go for fishing together in Parivelan's catamaran. When they return to the beach, Aruna keeps some fish for the family, and the rest of the fish she sells to those who offer to pay the most. Children, selling things in this way is called auctioning. So, the money Aruna gets from auctioning fish is divided into 4 equal shares. One share each for Parivelan, Aruna's brother, and her brother-in-law. The fourth share is kept for the equipment, that is the boat, catamaran, engine and fishing nets. And because these things belong to Aruna and Parivelan, therefore they keep the fourth share. They took loan from the bank to buy an engine for the catamaran. Now with the help of the engine, they can take their boat far into the sea, and thus they can get more fish. Those women who purchase fish from the beach, they carry them in baskets to sell them in the nearby villages. There are traders also who purchase fish from the beach for the shops in the towns. This fish auction would be finished by noon, and in the evening they would repair their fishing nets so that they can set out to sea again in the next morning at around 2 am. But when it is monsoon time, for at least about 4 months, they cannot go to the sea to catch fish, because during this period the fish breed. This time period of about 4 months is really very difficult time for them. They have to borrow money from the trader so that they can survive during this period. Later, when they again start catching fish, they are compelled to sell their fish to the trader to repay their loan, and therefore they are not able to auction their fish. This period of the year is very tough for them. Their difficulties increase if any natural calamity occurs, for example tsunami. So children, you have learnt that there are various ways through which people in rural areas make their living. Some people work on fields while others do non-farm work to earn their living. There are many activities involved in farming, for example, preparing the land, sowing, weeding and harvesting, etc. The growth of the crop depends on nature. Therefore, during certain seasons, such as during sowing and then harvesting, farmers or the people working on fields are extremely busy, while at the other times there is less work on farms. While in different regions in India, people grow different crops, still there are many similarities in their life situation, and their problems are also more or less same. Their earning depends upon the size and fertility of their land. Most of the people associated with farming are laborers. Most of the farmers cultivate their land and produce just enough food for themselves, with a little left over for selling in the market. Some farmers are forced to sell their produce to traders from whom they borrowed loan. Children, borrowing money for many families is a compulsion. They borrow money for their work, and when there is no work at that time, they borrow for their survival. Some families in rural areas own several hundred acres of land, along with some businesses and other activities. But such families are few in numbers. Most of the families in rural areas are small farmers, agricultural laborers, fishing families, craft persons who do not get enough and regular work throughout the year to make their living. That's all for this chapter. Now here are some questions for you to revise the topic. So the first question is, write a short note on landless laborers. Second question, describe in brief about the small farmers in Indian villages. Third question, write a short note on large farmers. Fourth question, Why can the fishermen not go to the sea during the monsoon? How do they manage during this period? Children, if you found this video helpful and wish to watch more of such content, do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have queries or any comments or any questions, please post them in the comment section below. Thank you.